Hello and welcome to day number 3 of our Blizzard live stream coming to you from Gamescom. It's the last day, and that means it's also our last stream. Froden, I'm really upset.
I'm upset, but I'm also happy that this is the way we ended. This week has been a lot of content, a lot of announcements, but none bigger than the upcoming World of Warcraft expansion, Legion. That's what we're going to be focusing on today.
Definitely. That has been like the big thing to be announced. I'm very happy that we're going to have developers here in our studio talking about some of the questions which have been raised by the community itself. So I think that's really great.
Absolutely. It's going to be focusing on all kinds of backgrounds as well as the cool content that we've packaged for today. Everything happening from the stages to some of the contests, as well as some questions that we want to answer on your fans' behalf.
Definitely. Also, of course, we had a lot of stuff going on the stage once more. For example, the costume contest, and yesterday also the dance contest. So, of course, we want to make sure to show you all of that, as well as the daily recap of our Gamescom day.
Now, throughout the streams, if you've been watching along for the past couple of days, we've also had a contest that's been going on, too. And there's 30 minutes remaining to vote. That's right, we've narrowed it down to just 3 contestants, and one of them will be the hashtag BlizzGC 2015 winner. They're going to be assorted with all kinds of prizes, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Again, go to blizzgc.com to submit your vote, because we're going to be closing it in just 30 minutes.
Exactly. So it's your vote that counts, and it has been for the last few days. So we started with 10 people, and now we're down to 3, and those are the 3 from McCree.
That's right. Nailed it.
Nailed it. That's good. That picture is very serial.
Yeah, we have Mathael from Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls.
Mercy.
And another Overwatch cosplay, which has been fantastic. The grand winner will get 17 prizes. I can't even count how many immediately just with the eyeballs, but I went back and counted it by my fingers. You get all kinds of cool stuff, statues, gaming gear, but my favorite, the Murloc mug. We have it in front of us. We can't take it home.
It's
Though
so
we
good,
actually
man.
spilled a little bit of
Yeah,
water
but that's what you do with those mugs. No, dude, I love those mugs, and I know a lot of people who have been watching have been really jealous. So yeah, those is that's something of the stuff which the people can win. So I'm really, really happy about that. And yeah, I can't wait. Do you have a favorite of those 3?
You know what? I don't want to kind of bias the things, but I really think that Mathael costume is pretty badass.
It was a
it's
good
just
one.
awesome to see a lot of the details be put into those cosplays and those dress-ups, because those things take so much time to prepare.
Definitely. I mean, I was really impressed with all the cosplays we saw here at Gamescom. We're going to talk about that more a little bit later, but before that, we want to remind you on yet another contest. We have been teasing something yesterday and shown you some stuff, and today we're finally going to reveal what it is. And I couldn't be more jealous, because we are actually going to give away one of the original World of Warcraft movie props.
How awesome is that?
I know,
you get
right?
something from the movie. It's coming out in 2016. A lot of people have been hearing about the Warcraft movie from Blizzard Entertainment. I can't wait to see what's going to be the final product. But more importantly, you can be part of that by getting this competition. All you have to do is take a picture of your battle poses by hashtagging Warcraft movie and hashtagging all these things and tagging on social media. Just make sure to submit it through social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram and get your chance to win. This is our submission. I'm not sure if we'll win, but I'm pretty sure we're already in the running with that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we did pretty well there. But yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys are coming up with. Of course, that contest is going to run for a little bit, so make sure to submit anything you can. Your battle stances count, and you can win the shield you just saw. It's actually been standing around in our office, in our studio here for the last few days.
You'll see it again in the corner, but again, the contest will end on August 15th. Make sure to check it out, worldofwarcraft.com. Hashtag BlizzGC 2015, hashtag Warcraft movie, send in your battle poses.
Definitely, and of course, apart from all the action we have here in the studio, we also had a lot going on the main stage. So once more, of course, we made a quick recap video for you guys, so you also know what you missed in case you haven't managed to come here to Gamescom.
Show matches, contests, all kinds of content revealed. Is this not the best Gamescom ever when you're a Blizzard fan.
It really is. I mean, the Blizzard area looks absolutely beautiful. Each of those areas, we already showed you around a little bit the other days, and they're just so lovely themed, right? Like, if you're standing in the Overwatch area, you really feel like, you know, like I'm here and this is Overwatch. If you're in the Hearthstone area, you're all chillaxed. Like, it really feels like Hearthstone. So I love it. I just simply love it. And yeah, I'm very happy to be here.
I was just so grateful. The first day we had awesome revealing of new content on the stream with the heroes and the Hearthstone team. And then we had Overwatch and Legacy to be able to dive really deep into the upcoming expansion or whatever release is going to be coming out for Overwatch. But today is the main course of the meal. We have the World of Warcraft dev team joining us for some questions about upcoming expansion Legion.
Hi there, I'm Tom Chilton, and I'm the game director for World of Warcraft. And we're here in beautiful Cologne, Germany for Gamescom 2015. Thanks for joining us on the live stream. We've just announced our latest expansion for World of Warcraft, and we've got more to talk about.
And joining us right now, they're right here live in the flesh, hot off the announcement just a couple of days ago. We have Tom Chilton, game director for World of Warcraft. Tom, how's it going?
Hey there. Doing well, doing well.
All right, we also have Ian Hazacostas over from the senior game designer of World of Warcraft. Ian, how's your Gamescom been so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, coming out here and being able to announce a brand new expansion in front of all the fans in Cologne is an incredible experience. Just like getting on stage and just seeing this wall of humanity going all the way back to the end of the hall, and then hearing the roar that came up from the crowd. Can't beat it.
Yeah, you can't beat that indeed. And of course, you've also experienced it. Alex Afrasabi, the creative director from World of Warcraft. How has your Gamescom been?
Gamescom has been amazing. I mean, I've been to a lot of BlizzCons before, but I've never felt a crowd like this. This is just something new and amazing for us.
Yeah, I mean, this was the first time that a World of Warcraft expansion announcement has been made during a Gamescom, not during a BlizzCon, so that was a really big deal for everyone here as well, you know, to be part of that. Also, I'm digging the new shirts.
Right on.
They're really nice, lovely.
There's
now,
only
of course,
4 in the world right now.
That's
is there
right.
really?
That's right.
Good. We have 3 of them in the studio. That's exclusive content, I would say. Now, guys, how has the mood been in the team leading up to Gamescom? Because it must be probably a bit chaotic, very excited. What was the mood there?
Huge amount of excitement, kind of nervous anticipation. I mean, really, it's been something that, you know, we've been working on this expansion for over a year now, year and a half, probably at least. Even we started concepting it like 2 years ago. The dates are just going to keep getting bigger. But, I mean, it's something that we've had to keep under wraps, obviously. We've known that this is what was going to be happening after Warlords of Draenor since when we first started concepting that expansion too. So it's awesome to finally see it coming to light, to finally get to share it with the players and get to talk about it. It's like a huge relief off of all of our shoulders.
The surprise factor was phenomenal. In fact, you guys didn't even tell Zoe what the announcement was. She was introducing it in front of the entire stage, and her reaction was priceless. It was just amazing. What was it like being able to see the fans' reaction, Ian, right there? Because the passion from the German crowd was amazing.
Oh, it was incredible. Yeah, one of my favorite moments before the show was actually when Tom asked Zoe what the German word for demon hunter is. And she answered, and then like a second later, it was like, wait a minute.
What does that mean?
Yeah, just watching like just the roar of the audience at like major hits when, you know, the paladin runs by with Ashbringer in his hand, or when, you know, Demon Hunter comes onto the screen. It was just deafening. It was incredible.
Epic. Epic's the only way you can describe it, and you know, some people didn't get to catch all of it because it was sort of a momentary spur of the thing that you just had to be there in order to experience the emotion. We're going to try our best to capture it with this little recap video for you to enjoy.
Guys, are you excited for this expansion or what?
If you were to rate your excitement on a scale of 1 to 10, what would it be?
9 to 10.
A 10! What else?
Probably 12. 12? That's not even possible based on the range.
I think World of Warcraft is a game for itself. You can't compare it with another.
This was not our destiny.
And how long have you been waiting? Several hours.
About 6 hours now.
6 hours just for this announcement?
Yes, totally worth it. My Hearthstone is already here, ready to port into the new expansion. I'm ready.
Let's roll it.
The vengeance of the burning shadow has come.
Every single person in this room that has played WoW in the last 5 to 10 years is going to be really, really surprised and shocked.
Yes!
Everyone is freaking out, and I'm like, woo! Demon Hunter!
Every single specialization in the game is going to have their own artifact to seek out and to wield and to use against the Legion.
Can't wait for the Legion to come back!
Awesome!
Yeah, it was awesome. It looks awesome. Everything is awesome about it. Finally, the Demon Hunters.
My hair was on edge the entire time. I think this might be the moment when I'm going back to World of Warcraft as a player.
The Burning Legion has returned.
Gotta say, World of Warcraft fans, they're so passionate. You guys have
They really
probably
are.
the most rowdy, the most passionate, the most loving fans out of any game that I've ever seen.
No doubt. I mean, I saw some of the fans high-fiving in the stand out there in the crowd when we were announcing
that.
Demon Hunter and stuff like that. Yeah. Also, when Illidan showed up, I mean, people were just like, "What?" I saw people like doing twirls. And
Yeah, that's right. There was not a lot of room to move. That was very impressive, the twirling.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah. No, but a lot of people have obviously been talking now ever since the announcement has been made, and the community is going nuts with questions, speculations, and all sorts of things. But we, of course, try to take a look at them and hope that some of the stuff actually gets answered here. And we want to start things off with the lore. One of the big questions which has been made was, where are we in terms of the world? Are we in the current Azeroth, or are we once more being in like a alternative reality of some sort?
That's a great question. And
Thank you.
good job. We are absolutely in our Azeroth, our current Azeroth. It's important, extremely important to fight off the Legion in a world that we actually care about, right? So definitely that.
All right. So did Archimon send Gul'dan over there? Yes.
Yeah.
And if so,
Archimon,
why?
yeah. And that's actually another really good question.
Thank you.
It is the integral, kind of the core story of us as Azerothians. Why is it the Legion continues to try to take over this world and to destroy this world? And that's something that I don't want to get too spoilery, but it is a story that will unfold as we go and quest and play through the Legion expansion.
When you first saw that cinematic and we saw Gul'dan, he was pretty happy to see Illidan. Why was that?
I'll tell you, I think Gul'dan is under orders, and he's got something to do. He's got plans that he has to fulfill, and I think Illidan is a really, really important part of those plans.
Yeah, speaking of which, by the way, I think people really want to know, is Illidan a bad guy here in World of Warcraft Legion, or is he on our side? And if he is on our side, won't he have kind of some resentment for what happened in the past?
Just a little bit. We're kind of trying to kill him.
I think Illidan's probably pretty pissed off. We put him down, and then now we're trying to find him, to have him help us potentially, and who knows how he's going to react. If we ever get in touch with him, or when we get in touch with him, I imagine he's going to have some words for us, and we'll see how that unfolds again throughout the expansion.
Let's hope we're prepared for those words of his.
I
went there, guys. But then
Should be here all night.
Now you've mentioned during the release that we will be battling the Legion in the Broken Isles. How did the Legion get there?
So 12,000 years ago. I'm going to veer from 10,000.
Oh, back
that's
then,
our normal. There was a festering wound in the land. And the ancient Highborn Night Elves at that point in time had access to all 5 of the Pillars of Creation. And that is what they actually used to seal up that wound. And on top of that wound, they built what would be their Temple of Elune, this grand temple. That wound has now been opened, and that festering fell energy is now shooting out, sparking out, and just pouring infinite numbers of demons out into our world. So that's big deal, and we need to stop
Yeah,
that.
sounds like it. I mean, you did mention during the reveal that this is the biggest demonic invasion
Yes.
That's right.
yet.
Yes.
So I can't wait to see how that's going to look like in game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
Scary.
we touched some of the stuff here. I think the lore really does matter because people really want to see how the story continues to unfold. And I think part of what makes it really exciting too is when we get to see those characters come to life, right? We saw the announcement of Legion, then we saw in the costume contest Illidan being the show up, Zoe.
Yeah, definitely. That was actually something making me really excited because it wasn't just an Illidan, but it was also a Maeve. And I mean, just for everyone at home, like they didn't know about that, right? That was just pure coincidence. It was all the more a big pleasure to see those two up there. But there have been so many more, and all of them have been breathtakingly beautiful and absolutely amazing. The quality of this year's costume contest was really top notch.
That's right. We do have a lot more questions to ask, but we also want to show you guys what we're exactly talking about when we discuss that these characters really came to life. Take a look.
We look at their costumes really closely, inspect them, and judge them on accuracy, the level of craftsmanship that went into them, and kind of the degree of difficulty in pulling off the costume they were trying to make. They're just incredible.
I was like, just want to do an armor one day. And then I saw someone who wasn't thin at all and had as well a very beautiful armor. And I was like, man, I could do this too.
I'm a massive StarCraft fan, and Zeratul was like the best character at all.
When I first opened Hearthstone and I saw Valir, I blew my mind and I thought I have to cosplay this.
I worked 2 months on it.
I couldn't even do that in 2 years. I'm really impressed right now.
It's fun to see all these people from all over Europe come together to show their passion for Blizzard and Blizzard's games. And I think maybe this year was the best one ever. It's incredible.
Female barbarian.
Congratulations. You were cosplaying as a female barbarian and it looks like a lot of work. How long did it take you?
Well, I began last year after Gamescom actually. I'm playing it myself and I like a lot the class. It's my favorite one. I'm also really interested in Overwatch right now. For me, Zarya is the Lady Barbarian of Overwatch with a laser.
So can we maybe see you next year at Gamescom as Zarya?
Maybe.
It's amazing to see not just the costumes and the cosplay itself, but them getting into character, right? The person who won it all, she was really committed to the role.
Oh yeah, that roar, that barbarian roar, I think that sold it to me. How about you, Ian? You actually been one of the judges.
Yeah, I had the good fortune of sitting there up close and getting to see those costumes and inspect them. Like the work that went into them is just incredible. And yeah, I think it was, they were also doing a great job of kind of role-playing and really getting into the character. I think for me it was between that barbarian costume and the Magni Bronzebeard that just looked lifelike. But that barbarian roar on the stage just put her over the top.
Yeah, actually, yesterday you told me something about the Bronzebeard I wouldn't have guessed by seeing it. You guys just saw him on the stream.
Yep.
So what would that big secret be?
That was a woman under that costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way. What?
Yes. Yeah, that was a woman.
I didn't know that. That was
yeah.
crazy.
That was just my reaction.
Amazing costume.
You know, the job she did with like the facial. I don't even know what she used for
it. It was like full prosthetics.
Yeah, that
it was
so cool.
Over the
She
top.
went the 9 yards. And she didn't win? Okay, well, that just shows how competitive it is here at the cosplay contest.
What kind of blind
Gamescom.
people do they have judging this thing? Anyway?
I don't know, man. They need to replace them for next year.
No, but it was a really tough one. How did you guys enjoy it? Did you get to see any of the cosplays?
Yeah, I did. It was awesome. And I think, if Magni had done a stone form kind of thing and transformed into stone, that would have pushed her over the edge.
Yeah.
So next time.
How about you, Alex?
I loved it. Illidan was my favorite, obviously.
Weird.
That's right. In fact, if you missed the costume contest, it's going to be put onto the Blizzard YouTube with live stage main commentary for all the cosplay enthusiasts. But let's not get too derailed from the conversation. Let's go back to some of the questions. I think the second topic that we want to talk about are the new zones that will be included in the expansion.
Definitely. Now, of course, one of the things you've mentioned when you introduced the expansion and all the new zones was Dalaran. I know a lot of people got excited about that. Now, of course, we're wondering, is the Dalaran, which is currently Northrend, is that one just casually flying over to the Broken Isles?
Right. Well, conceptually it is. Conceptually, it's moving from Northrend over to the Broken Isles. But, of course, the Dalaran that players have there in Northrend right now, they'll still have, they're leveling up from 70 to 80. You know, we view each expansion as kind of a period in time, and of course, if you're leveling there, you need Dalaran to be there. But the one that we have in the Broken Isles is conceptually the same Dalaran. It's been updated a little bit, so there's some changes to some of the locations within Dalaran itself. There are changes in the underbelly. There's some texture updates. We combine all that, and it'll still have a lot of that, the same nostalgia that it did before, and a lot of the same functionality.
Oh, lovely! Can't wait to see that.
With a new area and a new continent, I think people really want to know: can I fly to this new continent, the Broken Isles, by myself, or do I have to take more conventional routes, similar to how it was in Warlords of Draenor, for example?
Well, I think the person best equipped to answer that would be our flying representative, Ian Hazakostas.
All right, take it away.
My favorite topic. No, so I think eventually, yes, but not right away. And I think that's consistent with the philosophy we laid out in our Dev Water Cooler blog post a few weeks back, where we said that our solution for Warlords was a template that we could see applying going forward. And we're going to be enabling flying in the very near future in Warlords, and we think that strikes a good compromise between allowing the ground-based gameplay to shine as people initially explore the world, but then allowing people who have achieved and completed the content to take to the skies and then experience it from an all-new perspective. One thing we are going to do in Legion is, starting in 7.0, the first steps of the achievement to eventually unlock flying will be available, so players can start working towards it and get a sense of what it's going to require.
That's nice. I like that. I like to work for it, because also, like, you may or may not skip some really lovely areas, and there's always so much to see in new areas. Like, it would be a shame to just fly over it.
Yeah, and it's cool to see that you're talking about addressing it currently in Warlords of Draenor and being able to acknowledge that for the future expansion as well.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you have been asked about that flying stuff a lot. Like, your face just kind of gave it. I was like, yeah, I've heard that one before.
Oh, God, the question again.
Once or twice.
All right,
once or twice must have been.
No, it's good to be able to address it directly, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Thanks for answering it.
On top of zones, I think a lot of the things that people also are excited about were the artifacts that come with this expansion.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of questions, too. So let's go ahead and start and rewind from the beginning here. So this artifacts, how will they play a big role here in the expansion, Ian? And, moving forward, what's the progression through as we go through the content?
Well, so artifacts, as was said in the presentation, they're kind of your companion, your most trusted ally as you work your way through Legion and fight the Burning Legion themselves. It's going to be one of the first things that you do when you start out the expansion. You will claim your artifact and build it up from there. I think there's two separate progression paths. So there's the artifact power that you earn and spend on traits that we mentioned in the presentation. A part that didn't get mentioned is sort of the DPS throughput item level of your weapon itself. And that's going to be derived from powerful relics that you will obtain through pretty traditional sources. And you can socket those into your weapon, and those will increase its damage, its spell power, and they also interplay and modify some of the traits that you have socketed as well. And so that really is going to take the place of traditional weapon drops that you would normally get from quest rewards, dungeons.
Are there still any of those, or is that just kind of irrelevant by that?
There are probably some early on for catch-up purposes, but beyond the very early level-up zones, it's not something that we expect to see, because you should have your artifact, and that is going to be the thing that you progress. But through these relics that you get, you're still going to have the core experience of leveling up and getting a stronger weapon that just hits harder. And that way, when you kill a mythic raid boss, it's going to drop a way more powerful relic than what you'd get from a raid finder boss or a quest in the outdoor world.
Okay, and what about dual specs here? Like, how are the artifacts working with that?
Yes, that's definitely something we've heard a lot. We know there are many players who maybe might level as Retribution and get their Ashbringer right away, but they're also going to spec Holy and heal dungeons for a friend on the way up, or maybe spec Holy at max level to raid. And we want to make sure that it's not a multiplicative additional amount of effort to maintain multiple artifacts. You'll start out with one single artifact, but pretty shortly after that, you'll have the opportunity to go out and earn the others if that's something that you care about and that you want to do for your character. And then from there, we have some catch-up mechanisms in mind that in general make it much easier and faster to get your second or third artifact up to speed and to the same power level as your main one. Now, the one part that won't directly carry over are the relics I was just talking about.
Okay.
There, you would need to earn separate relics for the additional weapon, but that's not really very different from the arms warrior today who needs to go out and get a sword and shield from a boss or from a quest line or from crafting if they want a tank.
And of course, we have that little loot spec drop down now for people that are doing content, so you could always kind of set your loot spec to holy if you were doing ret, and you'd be able to get relics that were for your holy artifacts.
All right, neat, lovely. Now, one thing which actually, I don't think it actually has been covered during the presentation or anything else yet, professions. Is there anything you can share on in terms of professions so
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, professions are definitely a focus for us this expansion. We got a lot of feedback that the players felt like garrisons replaced too much of the garrison, the professions functionality. So what we've done is we've made a bigger team of professions designers than we've ever had before, including a designer that has created a quest line for each individual profession.
Oh, that's great. I like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Lovely.
And then we're also looking into some systems changes to kind of freshen the system a little bit. It's been very, it's been very much the same for a long time now. So we're looking into some updates that will not only improve the UI, but also kind of add new functionality with being able to gain expertise in individual recipes, stuff like that.
Well, I personally can't wait. I mean, we get to see like Ashbringer and all the different variations of it. It's going to be so cool. And of course,
Definitely.
I think people are just can't wait to get their hands on the content, but this is a good opportunity to remind people, again, for who's just coming into the stream, we said this at the very beginning, but not only can you get these cool weapons and artifacts for the upcoming expansion, but you can also get a piece of the Warcraft movie, Zoe, if they enter into the contest. All you have to do, again, send in your battle poses to the photos on social media. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, hashtag Warcraft movie, hashtag BlizzGC 2015, and send in your coolest pictures.
Yeah, and you can win an original movie prop. We actually have it here in the studio. It's this lovely shield of the Alliance. And man, I'm so jealous about that. I can't.
I don't have anything like that.
Yeah.
I wish I could.
Well, you see, the thing is, you could actually send in some battle poses too.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah,
I'll have to get that info.
Good.
Maybe we should start up a new contest of some sort, like maybe a game design contest, and whoever gets their game design into the game can get some movie props. What do you guys think?
Works for me.
Works for him. All right. The confidence is definitely there. And now we saw a lot of confidence on our stage as well, because we had live raids going on there with Method, one of, if not the best guild at the moment. So those live raids were happening on the stage. They raced against each other. It was a battle between Alliance and Horde, and of course we took a look at that as well. So check it out.
Set sail for Vale! I guess the biggest difference is that Method is the top team, and we usually raid 5 days a week. So I would still say like a hardcore guild, but definitely not as professional and time intensive as Method does.
Die Nummer 1 Raid-Gilde der Welt. Hier bei uns auf der Bühne. Method, Riesenapplaus! Fünf, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
The only thing that was kind of nervous-ish is when you walk up on stage, but when you sit down, you forget about everything and just focus on the game again.
We had a lot of trouble on the third boss. There is a spell that you're not supposed to kick. And unfortunately, one of our players kicked it, and she went to the arcane phase where she starts exploding, and we wiped there, so we had to run all the way back, and we lost a lot of time because of it.
Set sail for Vale! Method, come to the stage.
It didn't work out quite as well as it did yesterday. We managed to screw up the first pull, which is the hardest, as much as you can, and then because you're live on stage, you kind of start panicking.
2, 1, go! Method!
We are 2-2-1. days to the final match that will decide who will win. We tried to change up some tactics for one of the bosses to kill him a lot quicker than we usually do. We practiced that a little bit and hopefully it'll work out.
We're going to talk through the strategy once more and execute it perfectly.
I think that's kind of an accomplishment, especially for the 5 of us, since we can't make the other players play better. At least we can say that we did our part, and so that was really awesome.
Thanks for your support, guys. We really appreciate it. During progress as well, it always motivates us. Thank you very much.
Lots of cool content on this stage, but I mean, the raid was definitely one of the coolest.
It was. Did you see? They were rewarded with Frostmourne, so that's going to be a tough fight in between the guild now to battle out who is taking that one home.
Just giving away really cool prizes.
I know, right?
One after another. You got to be careful because I mean, there's
next
not many
year I
Frostmournes
probably
left.
want to just participate in all the contests and not host the actual stream here.
Should be raiding on stage.
Really should be, but I don't think we would do quite as good as Method would. Now, guys, did you have a chance to actually watch the live raid on stage?
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't catch the challenge modes on Thursday or Friday since we had a couple of things going on Thursday that took most of our attention.
Yeah, I heard of it.
You might have heard of it. But and then yes, I definitely saw the live raid in person yesterday and today. They were really exciting, close races. In both of them, actually, Set Sail for Fail was ahead the whole way through, and then they wiped in the last boss, and then that let Method pull back ahead. But it was really close.
Have you been able to catch any of the other action on the main stage too, Alex, at all? From just maybe the raids or even some of the other stuff?
Yeah, almost all of it. I've been here pretty much every day. Whether I'm working
contest.
dance contest was
definitely
kind of the highlight.
That was your highlight, wow.
Oh yeah,
well,
I like the concert
he was one of the judges.
I was the judge,
yeah.
and it took everything in my power not to get up there and do my female gnome because I do an amazing female gnome.
All right.
Yeah.
Does he really? Have you guys seen
I would
it?
never show them.
That's all he does at the office.
Is that one of those when I'm alone? Okay, I have those as well.
Standing on his desk.
Yeah.
Male night elf.
All right. Well, we'll talk more about that dance contest later. In the meantime, we want to continue some of the questions that we have from the community. So what's coming up next?
Yes, the next one we have is, of course, the new announced class, Demon Hunter. The crowd went absolutely crazy when you even just started mentioning it, and they lost it completely when he started describing it. Now, can you maybe quickly explain the Demon Hunter class to everyone who hasn't been fortunate enough to watch it already?
Wow, that's crazy. Who would do that?
I know, right?
So the Demon Hunter class is one that we considered introducing it in the Burning Crusade. It would have been appropriate there too, but at the time we weren't really comfortable with adding a new class to the game. But the Demon Hunter class has a lot of history, both in the earlier Warcraft games like Warcraft 3, through the Illidan character, through the Illidari and the Burning Crusade. So we really felt like it was super appropriate for this expansion. They're high mobility, agile class that dashes around the battlefield, doing a lot of damage.
What's the process of designing a new class, especially one with so much anticipation like the Demon Hunter?
Right. Well, really, what we start with is the fantasy of it. And so we look at all the inspirations for that class. In this case, it was the Warcraft 3 game with the Demon Hunter and Illidan there. Heroes of the Storm, they've got Illidan. The Illidari, how they kind of look, the whole style of everything. We tried to think of, what is the core fantasy of that class, and then identify class mechanics that would really go with that well. And once we do that, we try to prototype them very quickly, and then we go through a process of iterating on them, shaving out the ideas that aren't working, introducing new ideas until we feel like we have a really good package.
Okay. I do have one follow-up too. Now that we have 12 classes here, or we will have 12 classes in the expansion, will we get a 12 character slot so that way we can have one of each class on a single realm?
Yes.
Okay,
good.
Easy.
Yes.
So that way we don't have anything left out. Good, I like that. Straightforward
Got
answers.
you covered.
Good. Thank you so much. I'm very happy about that one, since I have a few characters too many. Now, of course, if you're looking at the class... exactly.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really good at that. The Demon Hunter has been introduced as one of the classes with a melee DPS as well as a tank spec.
Right.
Very much like the Monk and the Death Knight. how different is it from those two other classes? And do those two have to fear for their raid slots now of some sort? Or
No, I don't think they'll have to fear for their raid spot. Certainly, the Demon Hunter is very different from the Death Knight because the Death Knight is a heavily armored, slow, very deliberate, and has a very different style to it. I would say that you could say that the Demon Hunter is more similar to the Monk, except that the Monk is a little bit more, I guess, what we would call hybridized. They do use a lot of mobility, but they also use it to kind of escape and heal up, do stuff like that. Whereas that's really not the Demon Hunter kit as far as the type of healing sort of magic type of stuff. So the Demon Hunter is really all about being in your face, very aggressive, doing a lot of damage, trying to avoid damage where possible using evasion, things like that, damage mitigation types of abilities. And so it really has a different flavor, and we're going to make sure that they all feel very distinctly. And then as far as raid spots go, fortunately, we have the advantage these days of having the scaling raid sizes,
True.
right? So when a person gets added to the raid, it doesn't mean anybody loses a spot, which is great. That, and we also kind of feel like a lot of people that play the Demon Hunter are also going to be people that would have been playing melee specs anyways.
Probably,
right?
yes.
So we don't have a reason to believe right now that it'll crowd the box around the boss too much. So we won't have like everybody standing in melee range or something like that.
all right, well, I can't wait to see 100,000s of Demon Hunters on my server when it comes
You're
out.
pretty much
I mean,
raid with 20 Demon Hunters. Why not?
Why not? Yeah, no, that's what happens when new
Yeah.
thing came out. I
Yep.
very much remember when we first got to play Paladin in Classic on the Horde side.
Right.
All of a sudden, they were all over the place.
Yep.
There's nothing.
Yeah. Well, if we end up with too many, we're just going to require everybody to have Demon Hunter tattoos to play the class.
I think, yeah, that's a
and
solid
then
one.
that'll
Yeah.
slim it down.
I saw there's a swimmer in Russia that already is ahead of the game, so he'll be allowed.
Really?
But
Easy,
yeah.
easy.
But yeah, it reminds me of remember
Crazy.
when Death Knight came out. I remember screenshots of the 40 Death Knight Alterac valleys the
God.
first week.
Oh, man.
Yeah, fun times.
Good times, good times. Well, I think that pretty much satisfies all of our questions
It
here.
does, it
But
does indeed.
we do want you guys to stick around because you did mention the dance contest earlier just a few minutes ago, and we do want to show some of the highlights that we had when we saw the dance contest. So here, take a look.
It's harder than it looks.
How exhausted are you after that?
Very, very, very much.
It was awesome. Great.
All are good. Every dancer was dancing very good, but the number 6 was my favorite.
Is it a girl?
Yes, of course.
Of course it is.
Der erste Platz geht an Jenny! Herzlichen Glückwunsch!
Congratulations. It was a lovely performance you gave us there, a female goblin. Why did you choose that dance?
It was just a spontaneous idea because my brother said, hey, that's just something for you. And I said, yes, what should I do? Yes, the goblin, do the goblin. I said, okay, can do it.
How much time did you actually have to prepare for it?
1 hour behind it.
So you learned the whole dance in 1 hour backstage, and then you came first.
Dance is dance. It's World of Warcraft is dancing, life is dancing, everything is dancing. I love it. Dancing is nice.
So I guess the last follow-up question is, how good is the Demon Hunter's dance skills, right? I think that's what people want to know. Huh?
Well, they do have the double jump. So even though they have the same racial dance as other, night elves or blood elves, they've got that double jump
That's
to mix
right,
in, and that really will take them over the top, literally.
All right.
I'm really interested to know like what kind of dances you guys would choose if you would have to.
Right.
Would you actually have one favorite of the dances you secretly practice and would never ever tell anyone? Totally
Well,
stays
obviously
between
we know
us.
Alex does the
Alex,
Well, we know mine.
yeah.
My female no.
Is
Oh, yeah.
it famous of some sort or?
Among some crowds. In some circles it is.
All right,
Yes.
sweet,
Mostly
sweet.
just me in the office.
All right. Well, guys, we've had a lot of fun throughout the weekend, and it's actually time. We're 10 minutes past the deadline for the contest winners, and I think it's time to reveal who actually gets the prize of hashtagging BlizzGC 2015.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see there he is. That is our winner, and it is a really sick good cosplay.
Good, it's my favorite.
I really, really like that one. No, that deserved to win. And yeah, here we once more see what they're getting. It's just the biggest list of awesome things I actually want to have.
Yeah,
So
pretty
congratulations.
much,
I'm jealous.
a Blizzard decoration. You get an Extreme Makeover Blizzard edition. That's kind of what happens here.
Exactly. So congratulations, and of course, thanks to everyone who has been sending in stuff. I've been following this contest for the past 6 weeks, and I enjoyed so many of them. Did you guys get a chance to look at some of the contributions?
Was the winner appropriate,
Definitely.
do you think?
Yeah,
Seems
oh,
like
yeah.
it.
Definitely.
It's amazing. The quality, the craftsmanship, unbelievable.
And there were cereals.
Yeah.
So that's, it's pretty good.
That's right. That's right. Well, that's pretty much all that we have for now. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by, answering all the questions, being able to take your time out. It's been a wonderful Gamescom. Do you have any final words, Tom, before we let you go?
Mostly just thank you to everybody for tuning in. We really hope to dazzle you with an amazing expansion.
Yeah, and we'll keep looking out for what the community is discussing, what your thoughts are, concerns, questions, and we'll try to get more information out there in the future as we can. But meantime, thank you for the great reception, and we have a lot of work to do.
The trip back to the U.S. going to be really hard for you, Alex, now that you've been hanging out here in Germany for a few days.
We'll see. I think I'm going to take a couple days off for sure because jet lag and just Kolsch overload.
Great.
So you did the German way proper. So I like that. Okay, good. When in Germany, But it's been fantastic to have you here. You guys are heading back soon, and they're gonna go to Irvine into their main offices, and that's actually a place.
Expansion's drawing near.
Yeah, got stuff to do. But you actually have been in that lovely office there as well, and took a look around. So I can't wait to see your little office tour of the Blizzard headquarters.
Hey guys, it's Frodan. I'm here at the Blizzard Entertainment headquarters in Irvine, California to give everybody tuning into the live stream at Gamescom an inside look at the studios and the daily happenings around campus. This is where the likes of Azeroth, Sanctuary, and the Nexus collide. If you guys are ready, let's get going. Follow me. Okay, first up, I'm standing in front of the Blizzard campus centerpiece, the Wolf Rider, also known as the Orc statue. This one-of-a-kind statue is forged from bronze, and trust me, it's as fierce in person as it looks on screen. Surrounding the statue are the core values of Blizzard, as well as the company's mission statement. Hosted by the entrance here, we have a giant statue of Grommash, where he's standing guard over the lobby, museum, and the theater. The trophy cases in the museum are home to the awards Blizzard franchises have gathered over the years. Working for Blizzard also has its awards. For 5 years of service, they give you a sword. For 10, they give you a shield. For 15, you get a ring. And for 20-year veterans here at Blizzard, they get a helm. Currently, the exhibit on display is all about the rich history of Warcraft and World of Warcraft. In it, you can see all kinds of art, concept sketches, and neat little behind-the-scenes production tidbits. This exhibit also includes the creations of Blizzard's passionate community of fan art, machinima, and some insane cosplay. For example, this is the Tier 2 Judgment set by Chris White. Let's head over to the library. All right, I don't know about you guys, but when I think library, I don't think about comic books, consoles, tabletop games, and DVDs. That's exactly what this library is packed with. Employees are always free to come in, browse, and get inspiration for their projects, or pull up a chair, start a D&D adventure at this massive gaming table. Now, before I go, I have to show you some of these amazing statues that are here on the campus. You may have seen some of them from the previous years at BlizzCon, and right here behind me is what debuted in last year's Azeroth Choppers. And now, all of these are parked here on the Blizzard HQ for you to enjoy. Now, it says don't touch, but
Very smooth, Froden.
No one saw it.
No one will ever know
No
what
one
you
saw
did there. I would have done the same thing, though. No, it looks like a very cool place to work at. So I guess the guys will be very happy to go back to that lovely, lovely place, which basically for me looked like the best place in the world.
It's one of them for sure. I mean, I think being here at Gamescom was certainly one of the best places this weekend.
That was a pretty good place to be.
But we're done. We're done, Zoe. I mean, let's go ahead and just talk about what our favorite moments were. So why don't you start off? What's been your favorite moment?
All of it.
All of it. The entire thing. The entire 4.5 days.
No, yeah, all of it. No, I mean, I just generally really love to be able to talk to like developers in the studio, asking them the questions, mostly if I know that those questions are partially also coming from the community. It's so nice to see how they really try to, you know, share as much as they can and like shed some light on stuff and not always just keeping us like hanging in the darkness, which I love too because it hypes the excitement. But that was just really, really great. And it was so nice to see them. Most of the devs, they have been at the show floors and on all the different booths. And they have been playing with the fans, talking to the fans and just like mingling with the crowd. And you know, like if you're a normal player and if you're not familiar with these kind of events and you're not really working in the industry, you would never expect like your idols, because those people are idols to some people, right? They have been making those games we love and play for so many years, for so many hours. I personally wouldn't have expected them to just like, you know, hey, here, let's hang out, let's have a chat. Let me tell you about it. So yeah, they're very real, and I just love that, and I love to see it.
Yeah, my favorite moments has been just being able to experience the hype of it all. You know, being able to be here while they announce Legion is something that I'll never forget for the rest of my life, because those moments when you package them are ones you can tell people and they'll never understand. They'll just be like, oh, that's really cool. But for you, it's those amazing moments that make your hair stand up, that gives you the goosebumps. And I'll take that away for the rest of my life. So I've enjoyed Gamescom so much, and you guys can enjoy it as well. Make sure to catch everything on our YouTube channel for the Blizzard Entertainment. If you want to get some recaps of the event, if you want to see some of the devs talk once more, if you want to listen in, try to see if you can decode what the devs mean for release dates of betas. Not sure, but again, it's going to be on the Blizzard YouTube. And don't forget also to enter into the contest by hashtagging Warcraft Movie and hashtag BlizzGC 2015. Post your battle poses to see if you can get the enter to win the Warcraft Movie Prop Shield.
Yeah, and that was already it from us. Froden, it's been an absolute pleasure to working here on the desk with you, and it's been an absolute pleasure to working for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we very much hope to see you again next year.
Vice President himself, top tier, ladies and gentlemen.